Okay. Um, Thank you all for being here today. It's good to see you all. Today's class, we're going to do more of a hatha flow. We're going to start just resetting the spine as we normally do. And then we'll hold poses a little bit longer today than we sometimes do in this class. And really the intent for class today is, I guess one way of saying it is just to find the center of ourselves. So in a lot of the poses, I'm going to ask you to check in with how you're feeling and to notice if you feel like you're sitting in front of yourself or if you're sitting behind yourself, and if you can find the seat right in the middle of yourself. Okay, so that's just exactly how we're going to start. So go ahead and close your eyes if that's comfortable. You can relax your hands down on your legs, relax your shoulders away from your ears. And take a few breaths here. And we'll start by just observing. Observing the physical sensations of the body. Observing the breath. Observing the touch of the air to your skin. And the touch of the body to the earth. And then take a minute and notice the center line of your body. So notice where your spine is. And see if you have a tendency to sit a bit or lean a bit forward, almost like you're sitting in front of yourself. Or if you feel like you're sitting a bit back or leaning back. And see if you can gently, kindly encourage yourself to come to the center. So it feels like you're sitting right in the center of yourself. A beautiful place to be. And then go ahead and bend at the elbows, bring the hands to heart center. We can go ahead and take an inhale together and an exhale to release. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling together and exhale to release. You can let the hands come down to the legs, lower the gaze, softly open your eyes. And then you can remove any height from underneath the sit bones, and we'll go ahead and we'll lie back flat on our backs. Knees can be bent or legs can be extended out long. It's up to you. We're going to take just a minute here to settle in. Once again, can you feel the touch of the air on the skin and the touch of the body on the earth? Starting to explore the physical landscape of the body and of the breath. We're going to take 3 full body radiant breaths here. So I like to imagine that I'm breathing up and down my spine. See how big and full you can make your breath without strain, without too much effort. And then after this third exhale, just go ahead and relax the breath. You can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And if your legs are extended out long, go ahead and bend your knees and place the the feet directly underneath the knees. We're going to press down through the feet and we're going to lift our pelvis up just a few inches off of the mat. Keeping the pelvis neutral, keeping the back of the head and the back of the shoulders heavy, coming up into a low bridge pose. From here, we're going to move the entire pelvis down an inch, press through the feet, lift the entire pelvis up an inch. So we're going to do these little lifts and lowers as we often do to start to warm up the glutes. It can be very helpful to think about drawing the pubic bone up so that the tailbone just doesn't drop, but the entire pelvis lowers and lifts. We're going to do 5 more here in the center. Trying to connect the glutes and the brain, getting those little connections firing. Good, and then after your 5th, go ahead and pause at the top. And then we're gonna physically wiggle the left foot into the center line of the body, and we're gonna lift the right heel up. This is gonna put a lot of extra weight on the left glute. If you feel like you have the strength, you're gonna hover the right foot, lift the right knee over the hip. And just pause today. Normally we pulse here. Can you just pause? Keep the back of the head heavy. Keep the integrity in the pelvis. And then see if you can find the center of yourself even in this funny position. Can you find your middle line? And when I find my middle, this pose becomes a little less strained, a little bit easier. Take one more breath here. And then lower the right foot down. Walk the left foot out. Walk the right foot in this time to the midline. Press down through that right foot. Lift the left heel up. And then if you have it in you, if you feel strong and steady, lift the left knee over the left hip. And pause here. So this puts a lot of extra weight in the right glute. And then notice where you're clenching. Is it the shoulders, the jaw, the head, the face? Can you let that go and really fire the right glute? And can you find the center of yourself even in this kind of funny shape? One more breath. And then lower that left foot down. Wiggle the right foot out. And then lower the entire pelvis down. Pause here. Notice how the breath is feeling. Notice the body. We'll warm up our center. So go ahead and place the hands behind the head, elbows open wide. Take a nice full inhale here, and then exhale, draw the elbows together. Take an inhale to pause, keep the elbows towards one another, and then exhale, lift the chest so the shoulder blades come off the mat. We're gonna stay lifted here, so really lift your chest up high, keep hugging the elbows together, shoulder blades all the way off the mat. And then we're gonna lift our left arm straight up. Exhale, you're gonna twist to your right. So the left back of the hand comes to the outside of the right thigh. And pause here. Notice your right shoulder blade, make sure it's off the mat, and then check in with your left shoulder blade. Make sure it's off the mat. Lift 1 more inch, and then come back to center, lift in the center, and then exhale, lower all the way down. Take a breath here. And then we'll do the other side. So inhale, exhale, elbows come together. Inhale to pause. Exhale, lift your chest up, shoulder blades come off of the mat, nice and high. Lift the right arm straight up, and then exhale, twist to the left. So back of the right hand to the outside of the left thigh. And pause here, lift a little bit higher, check in with the right shoulder blade, check in with the left shoulder blade. Take 1 more breath, right hand behind the head, lift up in the center, and then lower all the way down. We're gonna do just 1 more set here. Take an inhale, exhale, elbows come together. Inhale. And then exhale, lift all the way up. We're gonna just pause and center this time. See how high you can get your shoulder blades up. Keep dropping the belly button down towards the spine. Lift 1 more inch, and then exhale, lower down. Relax your arms down by your side. Take a nice full breath here. And then bring your knees into your chest. And we're gonna rock to one side, press down through our hands, and then we're gonna come up to all fours, hands and knees. So a little different today, like I said, we're gonna start right away with our Surya Namaskar reset, our little low lunge sequence that we do. So you're gonna tuck your toes under and you're gonna press back, downward facing dog. And then take as many steps as it takes you to walk to the top of your mat, forward fold. Place your hands on your shins, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Press down through your feet, inhale, lift all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands come through. Soft bend in your knees, press down through the feet, reach the crown of the head up. And then inhale, arms are gonna come forward and up. Hands at your hips, exhale, forward fold. Hands to your shins, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat, so bend your knees if you need to, and step the right foot back, drop the right knee underneath the hip, soften the back foot, inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, plant the hands down to frame the foot, lift up off the back knee, step the front foot back, high plank, and then press back, downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward. Try not to move your hands if you can help it. Drop the back knee, soften the back foot. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, lower the hands down. Step the back foot forward. Inhale, lift all the way up. And then exhale, hand at your hips. We're gonna come all the way back down. Inhale, little lift. Exhale, plant the hands. This time, step the left foot back. Drop the knee. Keep the back toes tucked if you can. And then inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, lower the hands down. Press into the hands, even lean forward. Lift the back knee. Step the right foot back, high plank. And then exhale, downward facing dog. We'll step the left foot forward. Try to keep the hands down if you can. Drop the back knee, keep the back toes tucked. Inhale, lift the arms up. And then exhale, lower the hands down to frame the foot. Step the back foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift the arms all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands through to heart center. Good. Inhale, lift the arms up. We're gonna come back down. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, little lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back, downward facing dog. Take 3 nice deep breaths in down dog. Can you bend your knees and send the front of your hips back? Good. 1 more breath. And then exhale, lower your knees down to like a kneeling position. And we're gonna come into a child's pose. And this is gonna be an active child's pose that we're gonna hold for a little bit here. So you're gonna take the toes together, knees can be wide apart if that's more comfortable. And we're gonna reach our arms out long, but we're really gonna press into our fingertips. And we're gonna keep the elbows off the mat as we lower the forehead down to the mat. So really active through the arms. Arms are really reaching. The eyes of the elbows are off the mat. Finger pads are active. Head is relaxed. Good. Breathe here. And see if you can allow the breath to be wide. I like this active child's pose because I can really start to feel the arm line engage. The arm line connects to the heart. And as I connect with that arm line, as I connect with the heart, I can think about breathing into the back of the heart. So now that we've been here a few breaths, I want you to see if you can keep the hands active, but release some of the tension. You're more than welcome to stay in this child's pose, or you can lift up slightly, send the hips back, walk the arms forward, more like a puppy pose, relaxing the forehead down, keeping the pelvis lifted. As I transition into this puppy pose, I want to think about drawing my rib cage back. And then I meet the sensation more in my armpits, side body. And I breathe here. See if we can really stick with the breath. Stick with the stillness. Good. From here, we'll walk our hands underneath our shoulders, coming up to all fours. We'll tuck our toes under and we'll press back, downward facing dogs. Downward facing dog, I want you to think about bringing the backs of your knees forward. So bend your knees and send the front of your hips back. Yeah, lengthen out the back, lengthen out the spine. Can you feel that connection with your hands to the mat? Maybe you even want to take your feet a little bit wider for this first down dog. I like to envision my hands and my feet rooting down into the earth, almost like they're in sand or dirt, and they're really sinking down. As you're ready, take as many steps as it takes you to walk to the top of the mat, forward fold. And then we're gonna inhale to halfway lift, and we're gonna place our elbows up into our thighs, bend your knees slightly, that's fine. So we're in a supported halfway lift. Reach your heart forward, gaze can stay down at the mat. Breathe here. Good. And then exhale, forward fold. Your hands can come down to the mat. Your head can relax. You can release your shoulders. You can release your jaw. A deep bend in the knees is just fine. Then feel your hands on the mat and go ahead, step back, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, so backs of the knees come forward, front of the hips move back, lengthen the spine. And as I do that, I feel a little lift in the low belly, like a little Uddiyana Bandha, the hollowing out of the belly. Good. On your next exhale, go ahead, roll forward, high plank, top of a push-up. Pause. And then press back, downward facing dog. Exhale, come forward, high plank, top of a push-up. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, come forward, high plank. Feel the whole body move, spine moves. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pause here. Find that length, find that space. Find the breath. And then lower the knees down, all fours. hands and knees. We're gonna do a little shoulder stretch here. So we're gonna reach our right fingertips forward, and then we're gonna send the left arm underneath the right, and the left cheek comes down to the mat. So I know this thread the needle stretch is something that we do often, but see if you can approach this one with the beginner's mind. I want you to think about the right rib cage going up towards the sky, and think about keeping the left shoulder really heavy. Breathe here. You could tuck the right toes under and send the right foot back if you'd like, deepening the stretch. You might just think about the belly button almost like it's an eyeball or something, and it's trying to look up towards the ceiling. Good. Place the right hand underneath the right shoulder, press back up. And then this time we'll reach the left fingertips forward and we'll thread the right arm underneath the left. Right shoulder comes down. And just like we did on the other side, think about lifting the left rib cage up towards the ceiling. Right shoulder stays heavy. We breathe here. Allowing for the opening. You could extend the leg back if you'd like. And then walk that left hand underneath the left shoulder. Press up all fours, hands and knees. Go ahead, tuck your toes under, really feel your hands. Hover the knees off of the mat. You can even pause in this all fours plank. And then nice and slowly lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Good, bend your knees, and on empty, on an exhale, walk your feet forward to a forward fold. Keep a nice bend in your knees. Relax your head, relax your neck. And then see if you can, just like we did at the beginning of class, I want you to start to explore if your weight is coming more forward into your toes, or if it's sent back more in your heels. And see if you can find the center of yourself here in the forward fold. So I do that by really feeling all four corners of the foot. I have to bend my knees a little deeper, even resting my belly on the tops of my thighs, relaxing my head so that I can really find that center line and orientate myself around that axis. If you want, you could hold on to the backs of your heels, coming a little deeper into your fold. Good. And then release the hands, lean a little bit forward, press down through the feet. And then inhale, we'll rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, you can bring your hands through heart center. And we'll flow. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hinge forward fold. Inhale, little lift. Exhale, press through your hands and then hop or step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, high plank, top of a push-up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward, let it be fluid. Exhale, down dog. Good, inhale, roll forward, feel that movement. And then exhale, drop your knees down. We're gonna do a little cat-cow flow. We're gonna tuck our tailbone under and reach back almost like you're coming into a child's pose. And then inhale, we're gonna press through the tops of the feet almost like you're coming up to a little up dog with your knees down. Exhale, rounding back. Inhale, coming forward and up. Good, find your breath here. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward and up. One more. And then on this one, if you want to pause in the up dog, go ahead. You could even press through the tops of the feet and lift the knees off of the mat. Really press down through your hands. And then drop the knees down, press back, downward facing dog. Backs of the knees come forward, so bend the knees. Fronts of the hips move back. Lengthen out. And then bend your knees, step or hop the feet forward, forward fold. Relax the head, relax the neck. Lean into the feet, bend the knees, inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands through heart center. Good. We're gonna do a little balancing pose here. So let's go ahead and take the weight into the left foot and we'll bring the right foot up to tree pose, either at the ankle, calf, or inner thighs. We're gonna take the backs of the hands and place them up high on the side ribs. And then just pause. Another check-in. Notice if you're leaning to the outside of the foot, can you root down through the big toe and inner heel? That helps me find the center. And then let the breath meet the hands at the side ribs. You could stay here. This is a great place to stay, or you could extend the arms out to the side and bring them up overhead, interlacing the fingers, palms face up. Full breath. Good, and then exhale, release the hands out to the side, lift the right knee straight up, and then we'll wrap the right knee around the left leg, the standing leg, for eagle. Here, we're gonna bend the knee and send the hips back, arms come back out, and then we'll take the left arm on top, giving ourselves a hug, or coming up into eagle arms. Can you lift the elbows a little bit higher, send the pelvis back a little bit deeper. Really think pelvis back instead of knee forward. Good, and then release the arms, release the leg, place it down. Find the center. And then we'll do the other side. So left foot will lift up, backs of the hands to the side ribs, up high. Yep, and then let the breath meet the hands. Hands meet the breath. It's a beautiful thing. It's a gift, hey? And then think about the inner line of the foot. So big toe mound, inner heel. I can help find the center. This is a great place to stay. And if you'd like, you can extend the arms out to like a T and then lift the arms up. And this time, clasp the fingers with the awkward finger on top and then palms face up. Deep breath here. And then just release the hands out to the sides. And then lift the left knee straight up. I already have a soft bend in the standing knee, and then I wrap the left foot around. Really sending my hips back. And then this time, right arm on top. Give yourself a hug or take the bind. Can you lift your elbows a little higher, send your hips back a little deeper. Find your center. Maybe that's just by noticing the breath coming up and down the center line of your body. And maybe it's noticing the foot. Noticing the tendencies. Are you leaning front, back, side to side? Find that center seat. Release the arms, release the leg. And then we're gonna lift up our right knee and we're gonna have it meet our right elbow, almost like a little ab work thing. And then you're gonna bend your left knee and you're gonna float the right foot back, right toes back, just to touch super lightly. And then bring that right knee back up, elbow to knee. We're gonna send it back. Make sure you're bending the front knee to send the right leg back and then up. Okay, we're gonna do 3 more, kind of at our own pace. How light can you get that back toe to touch? I was out on a hike and I saw like all the butterflies, there were a bunch of butterflies out, kind of landing so softly on a leaf. Can you be like that? Okay, this time you're gonna reach it back and then you're gonna step it down and you're gonna open up to Trikonasana leg. So right foot parallel, left toes point forward. Arms come out to the side, feel your feet. We're gonna reach the fingertips forward, hips go back, and then we're gonna drop the left hand down to our shin. Notice I'm staying pretty high. Right hand's on my belly button. Pause here. And then with your hand, you're gonna guide your belly button up towards the ceiling. So you're gonna open up. Maybe once you get that twist, you can lengthen the right arm up towards the ceiling. If this feels like enough, you stay here. If you want a little more challenge, try and hover the left hand off of the shin. So you're using all the corners of your body, the feet, the arms. You're stretching out to kind of suspend here. So there's softness in the knees. Good. You can even drop down or lift up a little bit. And then take your gaze down and lift back up to standing. We're gonna bend the front knee and then slowly we're gonna float the right toes, leg off of the mat. You could have a block under your left hand if you'd like, or you could suspend it again. Right hand on your belly button. Just like we did for Trikonasana, can you guide the belly button towards the ceiling? Flex the back foot. Maybe the right hand comes up. Breathe here. Again, it's that suspension. You're reaching out, back foot, down with the front foot, side to side with the arms. Good, and then take your gaze down, take your hands down to the mat, drop the right hip so it's square, and then we're gonna do that little standing split warrior 3 mashup pose. So my spine is long, my fingertips are down. My back foot, my right foot's reaching back. You can stay here, or maybe today you want to wrap your hands around the left foot, but keep reaching your heart forward. Deep breath here. Good, watch your chin. Sometimes we try and lead with our chin. Can you keep your head in line with your spine? And then lower the right foot to meet the left. Forward fold. Relax the head, relax the neck. Relax your jaw. Lean into your feet and then lift all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands come through. Just gonna walk to this edge of my mat so you can see me. We're gonna bring the left knee this time to the left elbow and then bend the right knee and tap it back. Lift it up, send it back. Lift it up and back. Good, let's just do 2 or 3 more. How light can you be with those back toes? Make sure you're bending the front knee to reach the leg back. And then on this one, we'll step the foot back lightly and open Trikonasana legs. Arms come out to the side. I want you to watch if you can. I'm reaching my arms forward and my pelvis is moving back. And then I drop my hand, left hand comes to the belly button. And then I just turn the belly button open towards the ceiling. Maybe the arm follows. This is a great place to stay. If you want a little more challenge, you could float the right hand off the right shin. So you're suspending. What really helps here is a soft bend in the knees. Good, so it's the whole body working. It's not just one area. Gaze could be down, gaze could be up. See if you can take one more breath here. And then press into the feet, lift up. And then we'll bend the front knee and we'll take the back toes, back foot, back leg, and we lift it up. nice and slowly. I take my left hand to my belly button again, and then I just guide it open towards the ceiling. Can you flex the back foot, so that the back leg is active without straining? Maybe you notice a difference between the two sides. It's harder for me to find my center on this side because my right glute is weaker. So I just notice that. I breathe with it. I take a little bit of a deeper bend in my knee. I give myself a little grace here. And then gaze comes down, my fingertips come down, hips square, and I'm in this standing split warrior 3 mashup. So my heart is reaching forward. I'm mindful of my chin, that it's not leading, it's not sticking out. And I pause here with a long spine. You can stay here, or you can wrap your hands around your right ankle, Achilles tendon. And then here, you're still reaching that heart forward. Just a little more challenging, a little more balance focused. Good, and then place the hands down, place the foot down, forward fold. Take a little lift here, like a little halfway lift, get some length. Exhale and fold. And then inhale, reach all the way up, pressing through the feet. Exhale, hands come through. Take a breath into Tadasana. Feel the center line of your body. Notice your breath. And then we're gonna step it open. Both feet are gonna pay parallel with the edges of the mats today, so toes point forward. I'm gonna do a little Uddiyana Bandha here. So we're gonna bend our knees and we're gonna place our hands on our thighs. We're gonna take a nice full inhale, and then we're gonna exhale completely. Once you're empty, you're gonna take a mock inhalation. So you're not really gonna inhale, you're just gonna suction the belly back. And then release and inhale. We're gonna do that 2 more times. So exhale completely. Suction the belly back. Release the belly and inhale. 1 more time, exhale. Draw the belly back. Release and inhale. Good, exhale, place your hands down underneath your shoulders. We're gonna do a little cat-cow here. So you're gonna exhale round, like you're tucking the sit bones under, and then inhale, send the sit bones back, look up. 2 more, exhale round, just like you would in a cat-cow. Inhale, looking forward. Last one, exhale round. Inhale, forward. Pause in a neutral spine. So hands underneath shoulders, heart reaches forward. And then we're just gonna do a few side lunges. So bend into the left knee, come back to center, bend into the right knee. Remember, when we're bending into our knees from side to side, we're sending the hips back instead of sending the knees forward. Good, get a little bit of movement for the inner thighs. Side bend. Let's do 1 more on each side. And then when you're even, go ahead, pause in the center, bend through both knees, and then lift your way up. We're gonna take our arms out to the side. We're gonna take the right arm on top, give yourself a hug, and then lift up, eagle arms. Make sure your elbows are in line with your heart, and then send your hips back like a wide-legged chair pose. Yep, good. Really send the hips back. Inhale, you're gonna lift your chest, even your gaze, fingertips come up, and then exhale, you're gonna forward fold. Relax the head, relax the neck. You can keep a bend in your knees. And then release the arms, press into your feet. Inhale, lift all the way back up. Exhale, take the hands out to a T, opposite arm on top. So left arm on top. Eagle arms. Bend the knees from the hips back like you're in chair pose, but wide-legged chair pose. Lift the fingertips a little bit higher, lift the heart, open up, and then exhale, forward fold. Relax the head, relax the neck. And then go ahead, release the arms. Inhale, press through the feet and lift up. And then exhale, we're gonna turn to the front of our mat and release the hands down to frame the foot. Good, step the front foot back, downward facing dog. Feel your feet, feel your hands. Can you lengthen your spine? Inhale, come forward, high plank, top of a push-up. Reach your heels back and your heart forward. Yep, and then press back down dog, just like we've been doing throughout class. We'll roll forward again. And press back again. Find the pace, find the rhythm in your body. And then next time you come forward, pause there in this high plank, top of a push-up. Get wide through the back of the heart, really expand. Feel the heat, feel the fire. Good. Be here for another breath. And then go ahead and lower your knees down to the mat. Soften the tops of the feet. And then with the count of 4, if you can, we're gonna bend our elbows and nice and slowly lower down to our bellies. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. You're gonna take your arms, I'm gonna face this way so you guys can see me a little better. You're gonna take your fingertips nice and wide, and then we're gonna roll our shoulders up, back, and down. Little shoulder rolls here on our belly. And then relax the head, reach the arms out in front. Good. And then lift your right leg up and reach it out long, really get it long. And then lower the right leg down and lift the left leg up. And reach it out long and then lower the left leg down. Lift your chest up and then reach your right arm forward. Just like you did with your legs, can you reach the right arm out long? You could stay here, or you could lift your left leg up and just stay for a while. Think about reaching for length instead of height. Exhale, lower it down. Press through your feet, lift the left arm up. You could stay here, or you could lift the right foot up as well. Breathe here. Stay for a while. And then lower it down, lower the head down, take a little breather. And then press through your arms, nice and active, just like we did with that child's pose. And inhale, lift your chest, lift your head. So your finger pads are pressing into the mat or to the earth. Your arms are up off of the mat, pressing through the feet. And then we're gonna engage the low belly and we're gonna lift both feet up. And then I want you to lift all of your fingers except for the first finger. So you can root down through that first finger, and it's amazing how supportive that first finger is, the pointer finger. Maybe you wanna lift your fingers up, your hands up. One breath, and then lower down. Take a nice deep breath up and down your spine. Good. And then place your hands underneath your shoulders and then make your way up to just one breath and down dog, just to kind of lengthen out the spine. And then we'll lower our knees down all 4s. Okay, we're gonna come onto our forearms now. So we're gonna lower our elbows underneath our shoulders, hands, fingers spread, full forearms rooting down into the mat. And we're just gonna do a little rock, pressing the hips back and then reaching the heart forward. So it seems like a really simple movement, kind of like what we've been doing from child's pose to that little up dog, and what we've been doing from our down dog into plank. But what I want you to focus on is really keeping the elbows and the forearms heavy. So this is really a good prep for an elbow balance or even a dolphin. You could take the hips back, reach the heart forward, and stay here, kind of like a forearm puppy, or you can tuck your toes under and press back to everyone's favorite dolphin pose. Just like we did in the first down dog, can you keep your feet or take your feet a little wider? And then maybe you want to try and walk your feet a little bit closer to your elbows. Maybe you want to bend your knees, send the sit bones back. Keep the forearms heavy. That's number one. Keep the head relaxed. Let's take one more breath here. Go ahead and lower your knees down. Come back up all fours. We're going to do that again, but we're going to take a little pigeon for kind of an intermission. So we're going to bring our right knee forward, right knee behind the right wrist, left leg is back. And then for today, can you lift your chest? And I'm up on my fingertips, and I'm just going to walk my hands forward like I'm making the letter V. And I kind of glide my fingertips forward. I'm not even going to come down all the way. I'm just going to breathe here, keeping my arm lines active, feeling nice and wide in the back of the heart. Taking some nice deep breaths here. So this is a great place to stay. Maybe pressing into the back foot, noticing where you can relax. Or if you want to, you can add in a little twist here. So I'm going to walk my hands back. I'm going to take my right elbow and I'm going to root it down in front of my left foot. You might even want to press it into my right foot. And I'm going to stack my left hand on top, little prayer twist to the left. It definitely deepens the sensation in my right hip. I even take my gaze up. Take another breath here. And then we can go ahead and unwind if we're in the twist. Place your hands down. Feel your hands on the mat. Tuck your back toes. Lift the back knee. If you want a little extra core work, press into your hands and bring the right knee to your right elbow. And then slowly lift back, downward facing dog. Optional vinyasa here, inhaling, coming forward. Exhale, little chaturanga to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath. And then we're going to lower our knees down before we do the other side. We're going to come back into that forearm prep. So lower your elbows back down underneath your forearm or underneath your shoulders. Root down through the forearms. And then we take the pelvis back. And then we reach the heart forward. So it can be really tempting to skip this step, especially if you're like, ooh, I want to kick up into a balance pose. But see if you can just do a few of these and really get heavy through the forearms because it makes a big difference. And then remember, you can always sit back for that forearm child's pose. Or next time you come forward, tuck your toes under and lift up for the dolphin pose. If you want, you can walk your toes forward. And maybe this time, since we're all in our homes, if you want to kick up to a little forearm balance, you get to go ahead and do that. And then you can come down. If you want to do the other side to balance out, you can do that. Heavy through the forearms. And then we lower down. Take a little rest. Child's pose. And then we'll do the other side of our pigeon. So come up, you transition through a little down dog. And this time we'll bring the left leg forward, left knee behind the left wrist. And I start up high. and come onto my fingertips, and then walk my fingers forward like I'm making the letter V. And today I'm keeping my hands rooting down, and I'm staying higher than I typically would go into pigeon, but it's really asking the arm lines to stay awake. It's really asking for fullness in the front and the back of the heart. And truly, it's asking me to stay more centered in myself. Because when I come forward, I have a tendency to lose either the front or the back body. So remembering that this is a great place to stay. But if you did so on the other side, or if you want to try it, we can add in that twist. So I just slowly and mindfully walk my hands back, and then I take this time the left elbow into the left foot or right in front of the foot, press the right hand into the left hand, and I twist. Take some nice deep breaths here in the twist. Maybe even lift your gaze up. And then if you did lift your gaze, go ahead and take it down, and nice and gently, slowly, we'll start to unwind, placing the hands back underneath the shoulders. And I like to take my time and get out of this pose just as mindfully as we get in it. So I'm going to tuck the right toes under, lift the knee up for a little extra core, lift the left knee to the left elbow, and then go ahead, step it back, downward facing dog. Once again, optional vinyasa, inhaling to come forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward. And then go ahead, exhale, lower down to your knees. We're gonna do a little work with our camel pose today. So we're gonna start, come up to kneeling, knees directly under hips. We're just gonna take the hip creases back, so glutes to the heels, and then we're gonna lift up. Just like we did with our forearms, how you're really wanting to feel weight in your elbows and your forearms, I want you to think the same thing, but with your shins and feet. Ooh, quads get a little work. Hey, and then pause at the top, take the arms out to the side, and like you're a sail in the wind, keeping the back nice and straight here. We're just gonna lean back, and then you're gonna come up. You're gonna lean back, and then up. So if I was looking at you from the side, you'd seem pretty straight. And again, you're feeling that weight in the tops of the feet, down through the shins, and then down through the knees. Let's just do a few more like this so you really start to feel it. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, and then pause at the top. Okay, so you can relax your arms. The whole thing with this is we're rooting down to lift up, and we're thinking about moving forward to go back. So with this, we're gonna take our arms out to the side, and we're gonna press down on an exhale to feel the front of the heart, the chest to lift up. So inhale, take the arms back up. Just like you're pressing down like beach balls or trying to press them underwater, feel the front of the heart lift up. One more time, inhale. Exhale, feel the front of the chest lift. Okay, we're gonna add on, inhale, take the arms out to the side. Exhale, this time you're gonna press down, but then you're gonna start to lean back, and maybe the hands come onto the low back. Press through the feet, root down to lift the chest up, forward, back. Come all the way up, and just relax. Okay, we'll do it again. Inhale, take the arms to the side. Exhale, they come down. Lift the chest, and then maybe this time your hands come back to your heels. Maybe they stay on the low back. You're more than welcome to keep the chin tucked or relax the head back. And then you're gonna think about taking the weight and lifting back up, head's the last to lift, and then go ahead and sit back on your heels. Take a little break. We're gonna do one more if you have it in you. And then you can go further back or you can back off a bit. So we'll lift up, feel the feet, feel the shins. Inhale, take the arms out to the side. Exhale, press those balloons down. Take the arms back, lift the chest. Take a full breath here. Press into the feet. Let your head be the last one to lift, and then lower down. Good. Take the weight to one side, and then we're gonna bring our legs out in front. Wiggle out your knees. Give it a little rub. Good. And then we're gonna cross our right ankle, like on top of our left. Can you all see me, or do I need to? I'm just gonna edit and move this a little bit. Okay. So our right ankle is on top of our left. And then we're gonna, if you can, you're gonna stack this right ankle on top of the left knee, right knee on top of the left ankle. Good. And then we're gonna, if you need a block under this knee, that's fine. Don't worry about that too much. And we're gonna inhale and we're gonna lift the left arm straight up. Yep, and then exhale, you're gonna twist to the right. So my left hand comes to my right knee, and then I twist. Okay, so close your eyes if you can, and just notice if you're really striving to twist. Back off a bit, find the center line, just shoot that channel, and let the center of your body guide your twist. So it might look like you're not doing a lot, or it might look different. But what I'm really curious about is how it feels when you allow the center to guide the movement. Go ahead, unwind. And then we're gonna lift the right arm up this time, get nice and long through the right side. And we're gonna twist to the left. You could take the back of the right hand to the right foot, and you could just twist here. Or you can add in a fold and hook the right elbow into that right foot, stack the left hand on top. So now you're folding forward while you twist. Good. Breathing here. Go ahead, release. Come back to center. And then release the leg. Give the knees a little wiggle. And then this time, just like you're softly gonna cross your legs, but put the left leg on top. And then we'll work the left ankle on top of the right knee, left knee on top of the right ankle. I don't know why that's so difficult for me today. Inhale, lift your right arm up first. And then exhale, twist to the left. Okay, so this one in particular, I close my eyes and I notice where I'm striving. Sometimes my head, my chin really wants to get out of line with the center line. So can you notice that? And then find that seat in the center. So we're not too far forward, not too far back. It should be a beautiful place to be, the center. It's like you're sitting in the center of yourself. Unwind. Lift the left arm up and then really reach, get long, and then twist to the right. And again, you could stay up high, especially if this keeps you more aligned. Or you can hinge forward and you can hook the left elbow into the sole of the left foot, and it can kind of help twist, prayer twist here. Good. One more breath. And then go ahead, unwind. Take the knees, release the knees. Take your feet a little wider than hips distance apart. We're going to do just a few windshield wipers. So drop the knees to the left, come back to center, and then over to the right. I like to do this upright just to start to feel the collarbones widen. See if you keep the chest lifted. Yeah, beautiful. Let's do one more to each side. And then you can go ahead and pause. And we're gonna make our way onto our back, but we're gonna do a Navasana to get there if you'd like, or if you're like, I'm ready to just lay down, you can go ahead and lay down. So hug your knees into your chest, lift your feet so they're a little bit higher than your knees, lift your chest. And then maybe you float your right arm, maybe you float your left arm, maybe you can straighten your legs, maybe you can come down for an Ardha Navasana, and then maybe you can come back up, straighten the legs. Maybe you can float the arms. Maybe you can lower down. Maybe you can lift back up. We're going to do it one more time, and then we're going to come onto our backs. Float back, Ardha Navasana, and pause, and then release all the way down. Take a breath here on your back. Let the back of the head be heavy, back of the pelvis, even the backs of your heels. Feel the air touching the skin. Feel the breath moving the body. Feel the body relax. Okay. We're going to bend our knees so that the feet are underneath the knees. I'm going to scoot a little bit again. And then we're going to reach the right leg up towards the sky. And we're going to hold on behind the right belly of the thigh. And you can stay here, or you could extend your left leg out long. Little hamstring stretch. You're more than welcome to have a bend in the right knee if the backs of the legs are tight. And can you take a nice deep breath into the backs of the legs? And then here, oftentimes I instruct to have a really active foot. I want you to feel today if you can have, yes, an engaged foot, an active foot, even an active leg, but not a tense foot. So is there a way you can release tension while staying engaged? Can you release tension while staying engaged? Okay, from here, we're gonna bring the right foot all the way over to the left. So I like to hold on to the pinky toe side of my leg, and I'm gonna guide it all the way down to the floor if it reaches. So I'm hopping up on my left hip. And then with my right thumb, I just draw the right hip crease down towards my left foot. And I kind of give myself a second here. It's a good IT band stretch. And then if it's okay, you can extend the right arm out like you're making a lowercase t, and the gaze can come to the right. Deep breaths here. Just 3 more breaths. Can you allow it to feel good? Okay. If you turned your gaze, then go ahead and bring your gaze back to center. I let go of my foot and I root down through my hands. I bend my right knee slightly, and then I bring this bent leg back to center. Place the right foot down, bend the left knee, and even out the pelvis. Yep. We'll go ahead and we'll lift the left leg up this time. Hold on underneath the back of the left leg, the belly of the thigh. You're more than welcome to keep the right leg bent, rooted into the mat, or you can extend the right leg out long. And then we're going to come back to that engaged foot without tension. So that's something to kind of explore, to be curious about. For me, a strategy that I use to release tension is these little micro movements. So if I notice like the pinky toe line of my foot, that kind of edge of my foot is holding more tension than the rest, I might try and expand my toes and then release. So you can explore in your own body how to engage and activate while still releasing tension. Okay, from here, I take my right hand to that pinky toe line of my left foot, and I guide the entire leg over. I pop up on the right hip, so I'm in a twist, and I extend the left arm out to the left. Gaze can even come to the left if that feels okay. Let me breathe here in this twist. Oh, I forgot. If you'd like, you can hook your left thumb into the left hip crease and draw that hip towards your right big toe. So it just creates a little more space. And yeah, sometimes it can be nice to really feel that entire left side body, maybe explore touching the rib cage, just asking it to lengthen, to expand. And then for these final 3 breaths here in this twist, can you just find some relaxation? After your 3rd breath, you can bring your gaze back to center. I release the foot, bend the knee, and then with the bent knee, I guide the knee back to center. Have both soles of the feet down on the mat. Reset. And then if you'd like, you can hug your knees into your chest and just give yourself a little rock side to side. Any final posture that could feel good, maybe a happy baby, maybe lifting your head up to your knees, yeah, maybe another twist. Whatever feels good in your body, go ahead and take that now. And then whenever you're ready, you can relax into Shavasana. So laying flat on your back or on your side, any posture that feels good. Legs can be extended or knees can be bent. And I find that with these home practices, Shavasana can be the hardest part. So see if you can commit to giving yourself these final couple of minutes of practice. Sometimes, especially when we end practice in the afternoon, it can be really nice to have your hands on your body somewhere, like your belly or your heart. It's almost like a blanket, a little cuddling into yourself. And then here in Shavasana, you just allow the practice to integrate into the body. We allow the practice to integrate into the mind. We allow the practice to integrate into the heart. So we'll rest here for just another couple of minutes in stillness and in silence. Nice and slowly, nice and gently, we can start to bring our awareness back. That might just be one of those radiant breaths up and down the spine, or perhaps some light movements in your fingers and in your toes, just gently reawakening. Sometimes it can feel good to hug your knees into your chest or reach your arms up overhead. And then taking your time whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and roll to one side. Take a breath or two here. And then go ahead and press down through your hands and come up to sit in a comfortable seated position with the eyes closed or the gaze lowered. And then once you come up to sit, you can bend at your elbows, bring your hands to heart center. And we'll just take a moment in gratitude. Gratitude for the yoga, teachings of yoga, practice of yoga, space to practice together, and gratitude for these bodies, these hearts, and these minds. Namaste. Well, it's so good to see you all.